Well, hello to anybody who's joining me tonight. My name is Joe, known to some as Merfolk Joe. Tonight is Wednesday night. It's time to play some Merfolk. I have been playing Bant for the last few weeks. I've been enjoying it. I'm actually kind of excited to hear that some people have been having some luck with Mono Blue. It's my first love in Modern, and really my first real love in Magic in general. Yeah, I'd love to get back on Mono Blue at some point. It seems like it's decently situated. Not exactly sure what has shifted in the metagame to make that so. And Burn and Prowess have been around forever, and we were not playing Master of Waves at that point. I guess Plague Engineer is still not around very much. We had I guess backed off Master of Waves when Plague Engineer was the new hotness, but I don't know. Like, there's not a lot of people playing Lurrus anymore, which is one of the reasons Plague Engineer kind of went away. And Plague Engineer might be coming back now that Goblins is going to be a thing. So I guess we'll have to wait and see on Master of Waves. But as I said, I do love Mono Blue. My dream would be to get some 2/2 blue 1-drop, to get another 2-drop Lord in double blue instead of green-blue, and to get like a blue-blue kind of taxing effect, or just any other kind of interactive Merfolk. I wish these 3 cards could let us just play good old-fashioned like alpha style mono blue Merfolk. Just it's such an iconic tribe, and I always feel dirty when I splash colors with Merfolk. So I hope you guys are doing well tonight. The plan is I'm just gonna run a league. We'll see how we do. I think the last 2 leagues were very mediocre with the deck, like exactly 50-50. I think I went 3-2, and then I think I went 2-3. So nothing super exciting. I had been running in the 2 flex slots since we're running 18 lands. That gives us sort of two extra cards after we run all these play sets. I had been running Vapor Snag. I got a couple people in a couple good spots, but against control, it's not really that amazing. It can help you pick up a creature in response to removal or a board wipe. But it can be dead in game 1, fairly often. And so I tried playing Spell Pierce in the main a little bit. Seems like it has slightly broader applicability. But again, Spell Pierce does get a little bit outclassed as the games go longer. And against a creature deck, Spell Pierce is also going to be dead in game 1. So for this evening, just a very, very recent, like in the last hour or two, a very recent decision was to try just jamming Path to Exile in the 2 flex slots, putting the other 2 in the sideboard just to have access to the playset. I have obviously been playing Soul Herder for I guess about a year now, and I've just learned the power really of Path to Exile. It's definitely the best removal spell in Modern. It does ramp your opponent. It does fix your opponent's mana a little bit, but it just gets rid of everything, right? If we need to get rid of like an Ulamog, it's going to do the job. If we need to get rid of Primeval Titan, it's going to do the job. All the way down to stuff like Eidolon of the Great Revel, it's going to do the job there. All while not hitting our life total like Dismember. So the ramp is kind of a non-bow with Unsettled Mariner because you're giving your opponent more mana to be able to pay the tax. Man, I'm not playing Soul Herder tonight. Let's talk about Merfolk. All right, stay focused, guys. So anyhow, a bit of a nombo with Unsettled Mariner, bit of a nombo with Spell Pierce, bit of a nombo with Spreading Seas. It's just good removal though, so we'll see if it really bites us in the league tonight. But I always feel so shaky running Dismember in this deck since we've got so many shocks and fetches, and I don't know. Another recent change, Rothgar noticed that running 18 lands, we're rarely getting flooded like we were when we were running like 20 lands. And so the waterlogged groves were not really being cracked to draw cards, and so we were really only experiencing the downside where it was just like a pain land. So Botanical Sanctum has actually been pretty good in the handful of games that I've played with this build since I swapped out the 2 Groves for 2 Sanctums. Thanks, guys. Welcome to the stream tonight. It's nice to have a few of you with me. Yeah, no, I would love to play Soul Herder, but I'm also looking forward to playing Merfolk this evening. Real quick notes about the sideboard. Have been swapping some things around. I do have the 4 Deprives. I think they're super clutch. They win me a lot of games. You know, we'll establish a nice board. We'll have the win in 1 turn. Now the opponent goes for Ad Nauseam, or they go for Anger of the Gods, or whatever. And you deprive that spell, and then you just win the game. So just as extra counter spells, quite nice having the 4 Deprives. 1 Spell Pierce, very, very flex, just like the 15th slot, adding up to 9 counter spells. It's really nice as a blue deck to be able to counter all those combo spells. I had gone off of Rest in Peace for a little bit, playing that newish artifact. I always forget the name. It's like a staff or something. It's the one that's like a mix of Tormod's Crypt and Relic or something like that. It's only 1 mana, so and it doesn't cost white, so it's a little bit easier to get back with Luris if we want to keep like cycling it against Dredge. Although you can't, it doesn't exile graveyards and draw you a card. So there's a bit of friction there because you either have to get rid of the graveyard or draw a card. So wasn't that, I think it's Soul Guide. Yeah. All right. Bishark's got it covered. Soul Guide Lantern, I think. It's a very nice option for some decks to have access to. But for where we want it, I think Rest in Peace just might be the way to go. Burrington Forge Tender, up until a couple hours ago, I had 4 of these guys, I think, in the sideboard. Really, really good against Burn and Prowess, which are 2 matchups we need to shore up a little bit. They help a ton against Ponza as well. Can just like shut their attacks down for a couple turns. What else? Obviously Luris. Singleton Kazali Pride Mage. Apparently Wilderness Reclamation is the thing in Modern again. Could want more of these if we run into like 4 Wilderness Reclamation decks this evening. And Damping Sphere just good against Tron, good against Storm, good against Karu lands, the bounce lands out of Amulet Titan. And yeah, that's the deck. So let's hope to draw some Ether Vials in our opening hands and not mulligan too much. Oh man, this guy's ready to go in a queue. I'm tempted, but we're going to do the league tonight. I've been trying to pick up Nyambis, the new Azorius 2-drop for Soul Herder, but the new core set cards aren't really widely available yet online, particularly the rares. Like you can find most of the uncommons and all of the commons at this point, but the bots don't really have the rares at this point. A lot of people have to do drafts, and a lot of chests have to be cracked and sold to the bots. Yeah, this deck can draw really hot. It was pretty nice the last time I played. And we won the die roll, so that's nice. Good start to the league. All right, let's go Merfolk. Say okay. All right, that's pretty sick. We're going to keep this. Oh, wow, I think this guy is like a table leader. So we might have our work cut out for us here. Like a trophy contender, a Sneaky Pete. It looks really familiar. Like maybe he plays Ad Nauseam or something. So waiting for the opponent to think about their 7. I am just going to go, I think... I'm almost certainly going to play this Hallowed Fountain on turn 2 unless I draw like a basic island. Opponent's mulliganing to 6. Now this hand is quite good against a few decks. Since we have the Vial, I think I can just go get the basic island. But if I'm going to do that, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really make a huge difference, I don't think. Oh, whoa. I went to my combat somehow. That's really weird. Um, all right, well, I don't think we were close to accidentally passing through the turn, but... So let's go Forest and Utopia Sprawl. Okay, maybe it is... Okay, well, I don't know what this is. Seachrome Coast. Maybe... Oh, it's Ad Nauseam. I think that's what I was just just talking about. So Trickster probably not going to be super relevant if it is Ad Nauseam. Unfortunately. We'd love to draw some Force of Negations, in which case I'd probably pitch the Spreading Seas. Why is it skipping straight to my combat? That's wild. Oh, I don't have a stop set on my own main phase? That's ridiculous. Jeez, all right. I'm glad I caught that. Like, oof. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Let's check the Serum Visions. They went top, which is a little bit scary. We are on the play with a bunch of lords, but Serum Visions again. I guess they've got the full Secret Lair playset. You like how I called Ad Nauseam before we even saw a card? Like, I just remembered this guy's name from like 6 months ago, the last time I played against them. They went top-bottom there. Second land. We have no suspended Lotus Blooms, and we have no Pentad Prisms, and we have no... Well, I guess not much going on the opponent's side of the board. All right, well, land not amazing there, but we're just gonna kind of go bananas here and aggro this guy out. All right, Mistbinder, get in there. Opponent's gonna go to 16. If they play a Pain land and we draw a Lord, it could be lethal next turn. As things stand, I don't know. I don't feel great here. Really need a Spoils of the Vault. I think we might just be dead, guys. Unless they just bottom out here with their life total. It does happen sometimes. Oh my god, they just named Plains? And it was the first card on the top of their deck. Wow. They named Plains, and they drew a Plains off the top. Even if it was the second, they went bottom there with the Scry land. But the fact that it was Basic Plains was the top card on their deck. The Scryed, remember? What are you guys talking about? Oh, they scryed a Plains? Oh, of course. But they didn't scry, did they? Oh, they scried with Serum Visions, of course. You got it. Thank you guys for letting me know. I just thought that was a ridiculous called shot. So in this spot, I think I'll get another white source. I mean, the only green, I have to worry about Komena Speaker. I could play it if I get green, but Luris, I mean, none of this really matters, right? We're getting to crunch time here. But yeah, I don't know. Hallowed Fountain seems reasonable. So I don't know. Just a counter spell. I'm so bad with remembering scries, whether I scry and leave something or the opponent scries and leave something. I never remember anything. Yeah, no reason to not play Spreading Seas here. Actually, it seems pretty decent since they only have one white mana. Could be good. They do have Plains. I guess they're going... I don't know what they might do here, but let's see. It looks like this is actually kind of annoying for them. Ugh. All right, well, whatever. Too many lands. So they do have a basic plains coming, and we obviously have lethal next turn unless they get down an Unlife or an Angel's Grace. Pretty sure they have an Angel's Grace in hand, and okay, now they have Spoils of the Vault again, plus Thassa's Oracle. And if I Trickster Thassa's Oracle, it doesn't really do anything. So we're going to go to game 2 and hopefully draw some Deprives, some counter spells. That was kind of annoying. Not well. I mean, slightly. Yeah, we get one more draw, but whatever. So Deprives in. Actually, sideboarding has been really annoying lately after they did their recent downtime. I don't know if it's... Oh, man, I don't know what's going on here. If they... Oh, my God. Like, it's been right now... Look, it's already messing this up. I brought in 4 cards, and it says I'm on 65 cards. So, like, it's messing with my numbers, and I have to keep in mind what I'm actually on, because this is not telling me an accurate number. You know what? I think I'm going to actually screenshot this and try to report it. Let's go Pierce. There we go. Because I definitely don't have extra cards in my deck. So now I have to take out 5, not 6. Kazali Pride Mage, I guess, and Damping Spheres. All right, the paths can go out. Spreading Seas not really significant. And they're not really targeting us, so I think Mariner is the cut. I mean, Trickster doesn't do much either, but maybe Mariner is better than Trickster in the matchup, I think. It is really bizarre, and it's been... Oh, wait, I have to only take out 2 more cards, I think. Right, so now we're 61 and 15, which I do believe is correct. If I go ahead and check the deck that I registered for the league, we just looked at it together, 60 and 15, and it actually showed me at one point numbers that are like higher than this. It was like 63 and 15. Wait, I submitted my deck, I guess. Now we're waiting for the opponent to submit their deck, and hopefully it doesn't freak out. We should have all 4 paths when I check the sideboard after this finishes. I was hoping this wouldn't be an issue on the stream this evening. But if it is an issue, and I am going to screenshot it and keep it. If it is an issue, then I can get a refund on my league, which is kind of cool. Actually, I mean, we know it's an issue. There's a mistake, so... All right, so we got that there. Actually, I'll save it. And then I'm going to close Photoshop because I don't want... MTGO uses a lot of resources, so I don't want Photoshop open if I can avoid it. Man, if it just like sideboards me, I'm going to be a little bit upset. Let's check the sideboard out. They unsideboarded me. Wow. They didn't let me register my sideboard. I don't... All right, I guess we're getting a free league, guys. So we'll close this and I'll say yes, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Well, Path to Exile. No. I mean, I'm gonna keep this, and we're just gonna play stupid lords and hope to get there. I could mulligan to counter spells, but I could just end up mulliganing to 5 or 4. I mean, just as likely that I draw forces off the top of the deck, I think. Besides, we're playing with Wizards' money at this point. Yeah, I know. Pretty good. I got the white mana for it, too. And I think Wizards of the Coast also undid my stop on my main phase. Because I certainly did not. I think we're just super dead here because they've got the Lotus Bloom. They mulligan to 6. I guess there's like a glimmer of hope. Spreading Seas, cards that I sideboarded out. And so I have no idea if it's one of the cards in my deck that is creating the problem. It could be Spell Pierce, because I found the problem first when I was trying to add a bunch of Spell Pierces. I had 2 in the main and 2 in the side, and I kept adding it and then taking it out and trying to figure out what was happening, and that was when like the deck looked like it had like 80 cards instead of 75. So maybe Spell Pierce is randomly bugged? All right, that thing's coming off next turn, which means I'm just dead unless they have, unless I draw a counter spell, which would give me some kind of hope. Hang on a sec. Oh, they've got the Lotus Bloom coming. Yeah, I mean, Spreading Seas isn't going to do anything for us. I'm sorry, Tux, what are you saying? Oh, I know. I'm sort of kidding about that. I'm pretty sure I must have clicked it incorrectly. Opponent went bottom with their Scry, which could mean they're looking for that payoff card. Drawing gas this game. So, I mean, again, I don't think that Spreading Seas really does anything. They've still got the Bloom. Now they have more mana, so it really doesn't do anything. Let's play the Ether Vial and pass. Blah. Frustrating. Okay. You got it, opponent. Do I want to path at my own creature to draw land? Probably. Oh wait, I'd rather get Trickster in, I guess. Yeah, I'll just get Trickster down. Oh wait, hang on a second. Okay, I'll let this resolve, and then I'm gonna put my creature onto the battlefield. All right, so now Force of Negation, I guess. Best draw. Mariner. I don't know, whatever. Mariner. Go. Unsettled Mariner. It's just a creature. Just attacks. Just does creature things. All right, 2 poison. Take that. And then next turn, if I somehow draw 3 lords, it will be lethal. All right. Merfolk Trickster. Doing work. Actually, Path of Exile doing work. My opponent is going to be like, what is this guy doing with these Path to Exiles? Yeah. You know what? Hang on a second. Why don't I start with Spreading Seas, just cause. I mean, the difference is if he has like another Montu's Last Reckoning, then committing Trickster right now is problematic. I mean, they have infinite mana at this point. I don't think that pathing is. I mean, it could thin their deck a little bit, which is not something we really want to do. Yeah, that's kind of why I think, right? So that was why I had played Seas first in case that happened. I mean, if they draw it, they draw it. Oh, opponent scooped. How do we win that stupid game? So let's see if we can manage to sideboard somehow here. All right, just totally reset. So let's see where things go off the rails. I'm gonna not. I think it automatically did it when I did Deprives, right? So why don't I just do like a series of screenshots here? I'm gonna screenshot once right now. And then I'm going to sideboard some cards because we all see it's 60 and 15, right? So we're going to bring this whole column in here. Oh, that was a little bit messy. It's not supposed to do it that way. You go over here. You also go over here. You guys also go over here. So now it's behaving itself. Let's try another card. Sketchy. Okay. Seas out. Like now it's not doing it. You guys all saw it. It's on camera. Let's take out these paths. And then it's down to these two cards that I was talking about before. No, Tux, last time it didn't happen when I just clicked it a lot. Like it happened like literally the first cards that I dragged in. I just dragged in 4 Deprives and it said I had 65 cards instead of 64 cards. So it's not from clicking a lot. It's just from random garbage. Actually, Trickster's pretty good because we get like instant speed. I think taking 2 Mariners out is probably better. All right, run it back. Okay, I'm going to click Submit Deck. And what? Did we get a sideboard? Yes, we are sideboarded. The opponent didn't get to see the Path to Exile, so let's show the Luris and say okay. Gotta keep the Spell Pierce, I think. Lands, creatures, and Spell Pierce. Opponent's keeping. I've got to keep. Serum Visions. So just want to draw counter spells like all day. Not lands deck. Not lands. It's not what I wanted to draw. So yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll reveal a Lord just cause. I could have played a fetch to just like thin the deck a little bit. I don't think I'm going to Spell Pierce a Serum Visions here, so Damping Sphere is pretty nice, I guess. Next turn I could play Damping Sphere. Hold up Spell Pierce, something like that. I guess we'll have to see how it goes. Because I'm sure the opponent's going to untap and play Unlife. Maybe opponent's going to cycle a Veil here. Let's see what they're up to. Oh, they don't have green yet, so I don't know what they're thinking about. Like Pact of Negation. All right. So you got your unlife. Fair enough. Huh. Choices. But not really choices, right? Ether Vial is just another dead draw. Hang on, guys. My wife is calling. I have to take this call. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah. So to thin the deck or not to thin the deck? I guess to thin the deck, right? I guess the question is, do we play the Lord now? And I kind of think we do. If they don't go off next turn, we can just we can jam the Damping Sphere, hold up Pierce, and yeah, that's fine. You got it, opponent. Awkward. This whole entire game has been awkward. So I think we're gonna thin the deck again. Now I could get, yeah, Luris is just not really important here. So I guess it's Vial, Damping Sphere, pass with Spell Pierce up. I mean, it's somewhat relevant, right? It's just a little bit relevant. It's more relevant than my life total in this matchup. They're just gonna Thassa's Oracle me, so you know, whatever. Got one more basic island in the deck. If they go for Spoils of the Vault, okay, what's happening here? They're just passing. Can we draw a non-land? Let's go deck. You can do it. I've seen you do it. I know that you've got it in you. I mean, something, I guess. Everything is significant, Tux. You out of everybody should know that. Everything is significant. If there's really no point to preserving my life total, then of course thinning the deck is important. It is mathematically. 1 is greater than 0. Wow, can't get anything going here. They're not going to settle the wreckage, are they? That would be rough. All right, they get another turn out of this. Very annoying. Yeah, I don't know. But this guy knows what he's doing. Like, this is just for a scry, right? I guess they could do they could do Spoils of the Vault on top of its trigger, I guess. But they're not doing it, so they're just scrying. This is interesting. Come on, use that City of Brass right now, opponent. I really don't need to commit another creature to the board here. Super unnecessary. So I'm not going to, I guess. You know what? Actually, well, it doesn't really matter because they're not killing my stuff. Like Lurrus doesn't do anything anyway, so I'm gonna say no. Oh my god, just like Spell Pierce is like totally out of the sort of. Oh, this guy's getting buffed by Lord of Atlantis. That's cool. I guess I Violin a Lord here. Just oh, they're not blocking. Why would they block? All right. I mean, is the last card going to be a Pact of Negation? It always is. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, you're right. I'm forgetting about Lurrus. Okay, I don't know how we won that game. Apparently now I won't be able to redeem or get my entry back, but let's just 5-0, I guess. Let's check how this guy's doing in the league. Oh, it's a brand new league. Yeah, so he's not on the board right now. But definitely a grinder if you guys want to Google this guy's name. Spell Pierce for the win. Yeah. One in favor of the Spell Pierce there. So Path to Exile's irrelevant in round 1. Let me update our folks here. All right, cool. Let's jump into the next one. I mean, you're totally right. Stay slapped. Like, I mean, ad nauseum just seems like they always have it, right? And very rare to just see them floundering with nothing to do. They kept 7 though that game, so they had a suspended Lotus Bloom on turn 1. We did win the die roll in game 1, but we lost, and then we won 2 games with bad sideboarding in game 2. Pretty keepable hands tonight. I can dig it. I don't know what this lines up best against. Maybe we're on the draw, so I don't know if I want to play against Burner Prowess here. But Mariner is good in those matchups. I'd love to have a Vial. But with 3 lands and 4 spells, I mean, it would just be ridiculous to ship it, I think. Yikes. That's just loud noises. Oh, it's humans. All right. Mariners could be good with the taxing, I think. Like for reflector mages and such. A deck is sort of cooperating. Let's see. Battle of the Tribes. They've got the Ether Vial. I do not have the Ether Vial. So I'm going to chill on this Silver Guild just so they don't know like what to name with Meddling Mage. And again, because I want to get Unsettled Mariner down. All right, well, I don't know. Slowish, I guess, but potentially explosive down the road. White mana is nice for Lurrus. Well, I mean, that's just wrong Tux. It's really silly. Like, I don't know why you're dying on this dying on this hill. Oh, I should have played my... Oh, that's all right. I'm going to have a Merfolk soon, so it's all good. I am going to attack in here. The opponent wants to vial something in and trade. Sort of okay with me. I would not have fetched to thin the deck if my life total was at all relevant. If, like in this matchup, I would just keep the fetch in hand and play every other land. It's not the math. You just said you increase your chances of drawing lands. Or sorry, of not drawing lands by a certain percentage if you fetch. So that statement in and of itself just validates, you know, what I and others are saying. Oh, this is nice if they go for the freebooter here. Nah, looks like Lieutenant maybe. Anyhow, I'm not going to argue about it for the rest of the stream. Opponent down to 2 cards. Another Lieutenant? No, freebooter. All right. Not sure that vialing in freebooter actually... oh, the opponent's pinging their life total to look at my hand. That's nice. Not sure that vialing this in with this on the stack... Oh, no, wait. I think they did it backwards, didn't they? Oh, okay. They did it right. There we go. All right, so this guy's getting in for 6, which is quite a lot. They're down to 1 card, so I sort of feel okay playing this Adept if I want to just chump block for a bit. Tux, don't make me kick you from the stream. I don't know how to do that right now, but I will do it. I'll figure it out. I'm like half kidding, but let's move on, okay? Very important on internet arguments to have the last word, and you can have the last word tonight. I mean, we're sort of getting run over here. Humans on the play. They've got some buffed guys. Can play a Lord and attack in myself. If they have nothing, I'm set to take, you know, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, potentially non-lethal, a non-lethal amount of damage. Seems like Lords are probably correct here. I mean, if they've got like a Reflector Mage, they've got the 2 to pay for the Mariner, right? So if they've got Reflector Mage, we're kind of going to get wrecked anyway. If I play the Lord and attack, I get him for 6. We can draw another Lord and potentially, I don't know, Alpha Strike next turn. We'll see how it goes. They could double block something, but... Alright, so if they just go all out and have no creatures in hand, but they didn't play a land last turn, so they almost certainly have a 3-drop. It could be a freebooter, not a freebooter, it could be a Mantis Rider, which would also be pretty rough. Hard to beat these hands, but you know, we'll be on the play in the next game. It's gonna be 6. If they play a hierarch here, which is it looks like what they are doing, it's gonna be 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. 2 more if they okay, they're just a little fly around my face. Well, that's a good start. Another canopy. Now, I guess they can pay the 1 if they have, but I don't know. Looks like they don't have very much. You guys can call it now. Do you think that my sideboard is going to act all funky after game 1? I feel like that's been the pattern that I've noticed all day today is like game 1 seems to be messed up, and then game 2 the sideboard works okay. Blah. 3-drop is no good for us no matter what it is. That thing doesn't really matter too much. She's got 11. +5. How did that? Oh, it's a lord as well. All right. So yeah, I don't know. It's a lord. I forgot it's a lord. I thought it just did the thing with the graveyard. So it is definitely lethal. I think we're just toast. Why not? An opponent should have played that before combat, right? Like, why would you not play that before combat? Trickster is actually kind of interesting, but I think we're just toast. So how can we get out of this alive? I mean, kite sail. Kite sail's getting in by itself in the air. They're gonna get in with probably just about everybody. Maybe they'd hold the hierarchs back as things stand. Obviously they're gonna get in with the bigger ones. So can trickster down this before they go to attacks, and then sort of set to chump something. So I guess the question is, should I just play a creature now, or should I let them attack with everything? And I think I have to tap down their biggest dude with Trickster. I mean, we can draw like Spreading Seas into an Island Walk Lord next turn and potentially get there, but I have a feeling I'm going to lose some of my troops here. So I don't even think we'd have lethal after this anyway. We can take as much as 4 damage. We're already taking 3 in the air here. We could take 1 from a hierarch or something. What are we going to bring in from the sideboard? I don't think I have too much. I have 2 more paths, I guess. Can check that out now while the opponent is tanking about the attack. 2 paths. Maybe a Pride Mage, I guess, to try to blow up their Ether Vial, but that's probably it. Okay. Oh, and they happen to draw another 3-drop. Seems pretty decent. Okay, whatever. Yeah, but yeah, they should have gotten in with double exalted, of course. I was only looking at single for some reason. Yeah, so I guess the opponent just wanted to exert their authority. So pretty sure we're toast here. So it's like block. Yeah, we did. Block. I mean, I could just triple chump block, but that's enough for me to concede. All right. Opponent with pretty explosive opening. They had the Ether Vial. I did not have the Ether Vial. Let's hope that sideboarding actually works. Okay. And we'll take out all the Force of Negations, which leaves us with a choice of 1 more card to bring in. And I don't know. That card's probably going to be a Deprive, I guess. As bad as counterspells are against Vial decks, I mean, I could bring in a Forge Tender, but I mean, it's never going to attack in the matchup, and it would only potentially counter like 3 damage from a Mantis Rider or something like that. So Deprive just seems like higher upside. Well, it looks like my sideboard has worked itself out. So I'll go ahead and run it like that. This General Kudro, or whatever the card's name is, seems pretty good. I don't know how many copies they're running at this point. Yikes. Been getting these kind of weird hands, you know, it's lands and spells, but not a lot of creatures and no Ether Vial. And again, I don't really see how I can mulligan this. You guys might think that it's a mulligan. Let me know. But like if it was a mulligan to 6 and it was these cards, I would snap keep it. So it's like a free deprive basically. That's how I look at it. Opponent's thinking about their 7. And we do know that there's no other deprives in the deck at this point, so we won't be drawing any of that kind of fluff moving forward. The thing about a hand like this is that playing against humans, I'm kind of incentivized to play Spreading Seas first. Because they could kite sail me, which would be kind of terrible. Oh, but yeah, they could take the deprive too. Ether Vial. Okay, yeah. Now I just have to play Lords basically. Not really sure if I want to thin the deck, and again, it's kind of statistically irrelevant. So since it doesn't really matter in this spot, actually it does. The life points matter much more than thinning the deck for no reason. So I can just wait on the Flooded Strand. All right, opponent with some painful lands. Let's try to punish them for that. All right, well, we could play Spreading Seas now with 3 mana if we want to. Or just keep playing Lords. I mean, playing Lords seems okay too. I mean, yeah, Lords is better. Because I get to attack right now, which is obviously pretty important. I mean, Deputy would be a blowout. That might have been a reason to go for Master instead of Mistbinder. Yeah, closing things out with Spreading Seas is usually pretty good. Opponent might be stuck on these lands, in which case... okay, they do have a 3rd land. They must have just drawn that, because there's really no reason to lead on the Pain lands. But they don't have any Cavern of Souls, so we could get something with this Deprive, although... What is this? It can't be Deputy, because they're paying with human mana. Gonna get out-tempoed by humans. Kind of obnoxious. Thalia's Lieutenant. Why not? Guys, I'm getting beaten up by humans. Just like, should I have mulliganed? I don't think I should have mulliganed. I'm just drawing Lords. Like, hand is pretty good. I don't know that we have to mulligan to Ether Vial in the matchup. I don't think that's really the strategy. Land would be okay, so I can double spell. Blah. Blah, blah, blah. So I guess I just have to pass and Trickster something down. Don't really have good plays here. They ticked it up to 3. They've got 3 cards in hand. And now that they've drawn another land, they've got potential redraws. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Pretty sure we were on the draw in this match, right? Opponent opened up with land Ether Vial in game 1. At least the opponent's drawing some lands now. Well, okay. So they've got at least 2 3-drops in hand. I'm pretty sure it's just lights out. If they've got that Kudro guy, like this is just lethal on board, pretty sure. 4, 7, 11. Yeah. So I could potentially trade with a Mantis Rider if I let them, well, I kind of have to save damage here, right? I don't see a path to victory, honestly. It's just a little bit too nutty. I could have countered, I guess I could have countered the Mantis Rider, but picking up lands, picking up lands in this spot doesn't seem amazing. I mean, whatever. Just getting the snot kicked out of us. Maybe we do have to mulligan to Ether Vial. What is the other 3-drop the opponent has? I'm gonna call. I don't know. I take 6 damage. No, they're gonna play a Lord, and this is gonna become a 4/4. Let's go. Let's go, humans player. Let's see that general. Yeah. Okay. Good for you. Good for you. I think that's probably where I scoop. Okay. All right. I'm gonna scoop, and I mean we can play a creature and path something, but it doesn't let us live. So whatever. Good game, opponent. You got me. I'll be back in just a second. All right. Let's draw some cards if we can. That's too late. Sometimes, if you wait too long, you can't see the next card. So let's check this guy out. Also, no trophies. It's a really young league. I think it's just as of yesterday. This guy Rockstar already has 3 trophies in the last 2 days. Pretty nice. I wonder if somebody wants to run the hypergeometric calculator on, let's say that we've drawn our opening 7 and we want to know the odds of drawing 1 of a 4 of on our next draw step. So there's going to be 53 cards in the deck. There's 4 successes in the deck, and you want to know the odds of drawing 1 or more, or just 1, I guess. Just 1. And then if we also want to know the odds of drawing in the same situation, but with a 3 of. Because, you know, if we're talking about the statistical significance of thinning the deck, Yes, the percentage change when you fetch is between 14 lands being in the deck or 13 lands being left in the deck, something like that. And the difference between a 4 of and a 3 of is much greater, but I wonder actually what the percentage difference is between drawing one of those 4 ofs versus drawing one of a 3 of, because if it's underneath that threshold that was mentioned earlier, I think it was 5%, then in theory it shouldn't matter according to that idea whether we play 3 ofs or 4 ofs. Okay, continuing with the weird hands. The opponent's playing Luris, so they're probably playing creatures, so I guess Trickster should probably be good. I've also got access to double white for Luris, so I think we got to keep this. Oh, it's Boggles. It's Oh no, it's not Boggles. Oh. Huh. Walking Ballista, eh? Oh, this is combo. This is Gideon combo or something, right? Yeah, Devoted Devastation. But when did they start running Ancient Stirrings? What? I guess guess they're digging here for lands or Walking Ballista. Maybe I just haven't noticed it. So this is a little bit tricky. If I play it, I mean, I can't imagine they're going to play this as a 1 and then ping the speaker. So I think I'll just open with the Sanctum. I don't know that I've seen Ancient Stirrings out of Devoted Devastation. Am I mistaken? Are they playing a 1/1 Walking Ballista? I'm gonna go get an. Let's see if they ping in response to this. They probably should, if they want to kill that guy, but I don't know if they do want to kill that guy. We're gonna get another Hallowed Fountain. And I don't know. Oh, it could be Scales. It could be Scales. That's interesting. But they've got weird lands so far for Scales. Opponent wishing they had pinged my creature. But maybe they've got that Ozolith card or whatever, and they can just start dumping a lot of counters on this somehow. I mean, if it is Hardened Scales, then we've done really well to dodge turn 1 Hardened Scales and turn 1 Ozolith and turn 2 Arcbound Ravager, all that stuff. All right, so it's beyond your threshold. Thank you for doing the math. I guess that's true. So we are playing against Arcbound. Against Hardened Scales. They can start sacking stuff and putting counters on Ballista if they want to. Kind of in a bad situation. I guess we can think about... So... if they sack this thing gets suddenly, it has 3 counters on it, right? And then if they sack it, they'll have a total of 4 counters on Walking Ballista. Yes, you're right, Tux. Since we're only doing 1 draw, totally correct. I mean, Arcbound Ravager is one of their most important cards here, and there's very little I can do about it here. I can play a Trickster, tap down the Ravager for this turn, force them to do something. I could similarly play a Trickster and tap down Ballista, force them to do something, see what they do. I could also play Seize and just try to get in with Island Walk. I kind of like getting creatures on the board, obviously. So I think that I will Trickster, try to tap down the Ballista. All right, well, this might not be the best actually. If they double block here, it's not amazing for me. Okay. Maybe they'll just take the next turn off to put Luris in their hand. So at any moment, this thing could get 4 counters on it at this point. This Bant list is like, it's so much more amazing when we get Ether Vial on the board. I guess that's always been true for Merfolk, obviously, in general, but we feel it more when we're low to the ground like this. Like when we get Ether Vial and we get to just dump our hand. It feels very, very strong sometimes. Nearly unbeatable. But if we just have to play things fairly. Also, with Luris, Ether Vial is obviously way, way better than without Ether Vial. Right, we've got another Ancient Stirrings. Ozolith. Well, this is really disgusting now, actually. And the game is probably over. Oh my god. They could probably just kill me with pings from Walking Ballista in this spot. So for those of you unfamiliar with the Arcbound Ravager interaction with Ozolith, when Arcbound Ravager dies, its counters go onto the Ozolith, and they get to distribute to Walking Ballista. So they could sack the Ravager right now, put another 4 counters on the Walking Ballista. Those 4 counters are also going to go on the Ozolith, moving it up to 5 counters, and then they get 11 counters on the Walking Ballista. So they could attack. I have to block now, and then they could just dome me or just swipe my board. But they are all in on this Ballista. I mean, they could have another bomb card in hand. Oh, choosing not to attack. Interesting. They say oops, but okay, well, they're going for the Lord now. They do get to keep putting a counter on this, if nothing else. So I don't know, guys. Pretty rough spot. uh. Oh, they get to move a counter? That's fun. At least it's a land, though. Oh, did they not did they pass through their trigger here? Oh no, they need to play a creature to get that trigger. My bad. All right. Well, they can't add any. They make a. Yeah. I do have main deck paths. A main deck path off the top could sort of get me right back in this. Yeah, I'm totally opposed to the way that. Oh my god, that's sick. Look at this mana base. We haven't seen any Inkmoth Nexuses or anything like that. Oh, this thing's counters are going to go onto the Ozolith. I hate it. I mean, if they bottom it out, let's see what they do with it. Let's see what they do with it. I should probably wait till their upkeep. There's no reason to not wait till their upkeep. Actually, no, there is a reason. They can add counters and stuff, so I'm just gonna path it now. So what does the opponent do? Do they move their counters onto the Ozolith? No, they're going for my creatures. The 2 counters will go to the Ozolith, unless they go to my face, which maybe the opponent's not really thinking about this. I feel like putting their counters over here is probably better. And they could go Graveyard. Oh, you know, they can get Luris. Luris and then recast that for 1. I mean... Welding Jar. Pass the turn, opponent. Forget about Luris. Forget about Luris. Oh, they get back Ravager now. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh. Huh. What? Oh, they didn't play... Alright, they didn't play, they didn't play Luris yet, but it's coming. Alright, so opponent has Luris plus 1 other card in hand. If they play Luris, they get to play whatever they want. They can play back a Hanger Whack Walker, they could play back Ravager, they could play back Ballista, so... okay, speaking of Inkmoth Nexus, we're going to see Luris, and then we're going to see Arcbound Ravager, probably. If they pass priority for whatever reason, I could Trickster this thing down. But they're not going to do that. Pass priority, opponent. Come on. Okay, there's the Ravager. I could always tap the Ravager in response to them casting Ballista next turn. But I also want to just start attacking with Island Walk. I think I'm sort of priced into holding this Trickster, as annoying as it is. No, it doesn't really work, because then they just do all the tricks on my upkeep or something. So I just have to spend the Trickster now. Pretty sure this game is over. Maybe I can draw another path, the only one left in my deck. Ugh. All right, I mean, we're going to make the opponent play it out, but I can actually play Lurrus this turn. That's kind of nice. But we're still super dead. I have a feeling this is going to just go kind of like Affinity has always gone for Merfolk. Doesn't seem like a very good matchup for us. So we went from thinking it was Boggles to Devoted Devastation to this is like one of the most obscure openings. I guess the Ancient Stirrings basically gave it away. All right, go nuts, opponent. Go nuts. I'm pretty sure they should be able to just dome me now with Walking Ballista. Oh, and why not? I guess they can play an Arcbound Worker from their hand or from the graveyard. Not sure which one came from where. I think they drew the Arcbound Worker. Well, this league took an unfortunate turn after round 1. I don't really think there's tweaks that we can make to improve this matchup very much. We can play some number of Ceremonious Rejection, but I don't think the deck is very popular right now. This guy doesn't seem to have the best chops with this deck. Like, everything is taking like forever. I could just scoop. I'm a little, I don't know, a little ahead on time. This is almost certainly not going to go to time. Yeah, whatever. I'm just going to scoop. We're dead. Save everybody's time. Your guys' time, opponent's time, my time. Losing to a guy named Devious Penguin 666. Feels bad, man. All right, we get to bring in 2 more paths. So the paths actually have been pretty solid so far. It was only round 1 where paths were bad, and we actually won that one. We lost to humans, and now we're losing to artifacts. Kazali Pride Mage is sort of okay. Forest, we trim at least 2 of them. It's just terrible, right? It's just a terrible matchup. I could bring in Rest in Peace to try to neuter their graveyard, but like, I'm hitting my own graveyard, kind of admitting that they're like the better Lurrus deck. It just kind of feels bad. Mariner seems okay against Ballista, so keeping all the Mariners. I have to trim 1 more card. Looks like my sideboarding is not getting messed up on the positive side of things. I'll just trim another Force. Just run with creatures, see how it goes. Also, I guess Master of Waves wouldn't have been the best in this league either. Just because pretty slow against Ad Nauseam. Decent against humans, but bad against Walking Ballista, obviously. Yeah, I guess that's right. I could have brought in Deprive for sure, particularly on the play. Just need a hand with Vial, like it's been a little while. I'm a poet, and I don't even know it. Speaking of vials. Guess I have to keep this. We can go get white for Luris, start recasting things. I keep. Hopefully the opponent will mulligan. Nah, they don't mulligan. Why would they mulligan? So yeah, we got to go get a Hallowed Fountain turn 1. Actually, maybe Hallowed Fountain not super necessary, honestly, because I'm not going to use the white mana to cast Luris, so just hitting my life total for no reason. All right, Hardened Scales. Maybe we get a Pride Mage, my singleton, Kazali Pride Mage. Well, that's something. Actually, you know what? That was actually really dumb land sequencing. Really dumb. What am I doing? It's like, all right, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna play the second vial. We're just gonna go with that. I got so used to playing without Vial, where you really need to go get double white for Luris. All right, they found an Arcbound Ravager. And they have a second land. Another Ancient Stirrings. So I agree that Deprive could be decent here. I actually kind of like getting down the second Ether Vial anyway, so I don't think the land sequencing really mattered all that much. What did I bring in from the sideboard? We don't have anything that we really need green for in the sideboard anyway, so I will get green. So, well, it doesn't matter anyway. I am gonna get that second white. Now I'll just get Breeding Pool. So if we draw another 2-drop, we can play a Mistbinder. Not the best Arcbound worker find off of Ancient Stirrings. Well, that's a decent one. Yeah, we can just get both of these guys on the board here. Next turn, tick both of these up. Pretty sure I have to path that thing. Because pathing it doesn't make the baby hangerback walkers. Oh, that was pretty nice. So the plan was we're going to pay for Luris and just vial him in. So I don't know that anything would change if I vial in Silvergill now. So yeah, let's just go ahead and attack. I mean, if I vial in Silvergill now, I could potentially draw a Lord, play a Lord. It's then 5/4/4. It's 13, one shy of lethal. Could also draw like a Trickster off the Silvergill, which we might want to choose to hold up in case they go like Ravager with 2 counters and then 5 and something, they somehow get a crazy Inkmoth Nexus. I don't really see the downside to vialing in Adept here. Just gets us more information. See, that's extremely relevant, I think, right? So anyhow, at this point, we can just go ahead to attacks. And I think that just holding up path is just way better than now what I could do is before I pass the turn, I could just path this right now. Like there's no Ozolith, there's no Arcbound to put extra counters on. It'll just get them another land. We know they have an Arcbound Ravager in hand that's going to enter the battlefield with 2 counters. They can sack it, and then 3 counters will go onto Inkmoth. Actually, you know what? There's no downside to just passing. Like, I'll pass. If they cast Arcbound, then I can just potentially sacrifice this in response. Or, not sacrifice, but path it in response. All right, well, they've got that 5th land. I think we just let it resolve, right? It's a difference between this having 2 counters and having 5 counters. But we do get to path something no matter what. All right, fair enough. I mean, I guess that's true. They are fairly constricted on resources. Well, it seems this is working out well for us. Let him attack for the suspense of it. Well, Path to Exile, proving its worth in this league. Opponent says, oh! Oh, that's funny. I love it. Opponent, you have to see the opponent's like exaggerated. Let me show you guys what's going on over here. Oh, snap. Love it. Yeah, no, they're not going to run Blossoming Defense. Okay, well, we do get to think about bringing in Deprives, and I think it's like OG like tech against like Affinity. It's a terrible slow counter spell. But you know, Force, I'm going to keep, maybe we bring in more Forces, honestly, just to try to get them on like the Ozolith or Hardened Scales. Don't want too many Deprives. Honestly, I don't know. Like, on the draw against them, Deprive just might be too bad. It would have been okay on the play, but on the draw, I think we'd suffer. So I trim 1 Mistbinder and I don't know, maybe 1 Force. It's definitely like a roll of the dice kind of situation here. Like, if we get Force in our opening hand, it's nice. If we don't, we really don't want to draw it. That's kind of what it boils down to. Let's just get like some lands, creatures, and Path to Exiles. And see how it goes. Lands, creatures, Path to Exiles. All right, guys, this is actually like super. This is such a terrible matchup, and the opponent's mulliganing that I think I have to roll the dice on drawing a land. Somebody can do the odds with 17 lands in the deck, but it has to be better than me drawing a better hand than this. Yeah, I'm gonna keep. You guys can yell at me all you want, but opponent kept their 6. And there it is. Hardened Scales. Well, there we go. We still have a chance to draw a land. If we whiff, it's probably terrible for us, but we still have Path to Exile. Opponent looks like they may be light on lands on their mulligan, but let's see if they are looking for lands here. They got a basic Plains. Very nice. So can I get some lands too? Magic Gods? I'm feeling a fetch on top. Let's go. Okay, 3 Path to Exiles. For all I know, this can get us there. Like, we have 7 cards in hand at this point, so we don't have to discard. If they play an Arcbound Ravager or something like that, I might just need a Walking Ballista. Yeah, I'm gonna let this resolve. And then I'm gonna path the Walking Ballista. Taking 2 is sort of fine for now. I could, of course, just path this guy. No, it'll put the counters onto this, so I don't like it very much. No, actually, it's only when it dies, right? Is it? When it dies, but we're not. The question is whether I should burn a Path to Exile on this stupid creature, but it's all about resources, this deck. But if I ramp them, they get closer to Luris. I think I'm just gonna path the Walking Ballista for now. I don't know. Keeping my life total high also seems relevant. So these counters are just in the graveyard or in the ether now. They're just gone forever. Opponent does have the extra basic, so that's nice. But they didn't get an extra white to be able to cast Luris, so... And now their fast lands are slow lands. Okay, I kind of like that. It lets us... I think I'm just going to path no matter what, and then we'll just path something else. Pathing Luris could be reasonable. Actually, you know what? I mean... Yeah, I can't really see, like, tapping out and not getting rid of this thing. Because if they go, like, Ozolith into Arcbound Ravager, it's just dirty. But there's no reason to not just wait till their upkeep here, I think. There's nothing they can do. Do they want the land, or do they want to get 2 damage? And they probably want to 2 damage me just so they can get it back with Luris. I think that's the play. Alright, so Path to Exile, just like a free removal spell against Walking Ballista. Alright, so we've got the leftover path here. Okay, Ravager. What is this? Hangerback. That is one that we want to path. Oh, but they've got the Arcbound Ravager on the battlefield. So... oh my god, this is so bad. Like, we're still losing with 3 Path to Exiles. I'm pretty sure I have to path the Arcbound now, so that they just don't get, like, a bazillion Arcbound Ravager counters. And a lot of little flying things. but they're going to have access to Lurrus pretty soon. We've got to start applying some pressure. I do have Spreading Seas to address Inkmoth Nexus. Well, they're not ramping with Path, so this is basically the best removal spell in the game. I told the opponent I kept the one lander with multiple paths because they said bruh when I cast my third path to exile, and they responded by saying solid keep, honestly. And then the opponent says annoying as hell for me, of course. Okay. All right, we're trying to get there. Opponent has one card left in hand. I do not think they played a land that turn. Actually, maybe they did. Maybe they played the Inkmoth Nexus, but I don't think they did. Well, that's nice. Hey. I think we just have to lean in here. Like, if I just get Island Walk going, I don't want to, yeah, like, just get Island Walk going and hope that they don't have the nuts in hand somehow. I just don't want them to be able to start making all of these. Like, if I attack into this, they just block and they make a bunch of. Nice. All right, we're just doing Merfolk things here. On the draw against artifacts. Holding our breath. Yeah, it has been a fairly long match. I don't know. Lord is okay. Ozolith. Ozolith and then what? Don't play an Arcbound Ravager. Oh, okay. Arcbound Worker is fine. Attack, right? Oh, I should have attacked. That was bad. I thought about that, Tux, but I like getting Island Walk. I also like getting Inkmoth Nexus just totally like shut down forever. Feeling good. Opponent's empty-handed. No tricks involved. Empty-handed. Gonna make the opponent scoop on their draw step. Well, the one lander keep with no Ether Vial, guys. That's why you watch me stream, because I've got all the tech. What do you got, opponent? Got scoops? I think that's what you have. Can you ask your fish to calm down? Haha. I have tried before. Good luck with the rest. I'll show you guys the chat here, because it's so rare to get like a nice opponent. So we've got annoying as hell, the triple path. Can you ask your fish to calm down? And then what else did we have? He said, seriously, good games. I said, I have tried before to ask my fish to calm down. And yeah, good games. Good luck with the rest. Just like a really nice dude. So beating our nemesis, nice opponent. Gotta love it. Going up 2-1 instead of going 1-2. Yeah, that was sick. Let me take a quick break. I'll be right back. Yeah, the path was awesome there. Honestly, the thing that made me win that game, or let me win that game, was that turn one Ether Vial. I kept, I think, Wanderwine in 6 spells with 2 paths, and the first draw was Ether Vial, which is just like nutty, like absolutely the best possible draw. And then I think my second draw was the Hallowed Fountain, right? Something like that. It's possible that I whiffed once on lands, but I think I might have whiffed once on lands. Drew the Hallowed Fountain maybe on turn 3. No, it would have been on turn. Yeah, I guess turn 3. Anyhow, but the Ether Vial got me there. I pretty much pathed all the opponent's threats, so it's possible that they wouldn't have been able to get there anyway. Even if I was like much slower without Ether Vial, like if it was a land instead of Ether Vial off the top, still probably would have been okay. I could have at least fought a little bit, but Ether Vial just ended the game like 3 turns earlier than it would have otherwise. I mean, honestly, Dismember probably would have been just as good in that particular game, but if you're spending 12 life for 3 Dismembers on top of like paying 2 for Hallowed Fountain, you're talking about starting the game at 6 life. Little bit sketchy. I don't think I took any damage from the opponent's creatures that game, but still pretty sketchy if that's what you're. Oh no, hold on. Is that right? Yeah. So yeah, that's right. 12 damage from Dismembers, 2 damage from Hallowed Fountain. I mean, I don't know if I can express super clearly why I think Path is good in this build, but it's bad in other builds of Merfolk. I guess on the one hand, we're trying to win the games really fast, like it's this 12 Lord build. And so in that sense, an extra land, in theory, should hopefully not matter too much. On the opponent's side, I guess it's when you, for me, it's when you compare Dismember with Path, and we're already taking a bunch of damage from our creatures. Sorry, from our lands. So I have to mulligan this. It just looks so nice with all the creatures, but obviously I have to mulligan it. Sad face. Triple Ether Vial, huh? So let's imagine that this hand was like this as a mulligan to 6. I think you have to keep it, right? I'm just going to bottom one of these vials. We're going to draw into another card with Spreading Seas, hopefully playing against like Jund with a tapped Raging Ravine on turn 1 or something. Maybe Tron. Oh, play a Utopia Sprawl. Not yet. Okay. That would have been nutty if they just went with turn 1 Utopia Sprawl. Nice. Good draws. Good draws. Actually, I could slow them down like massively by getting the Spreading Seas down now. It's totally possible they have 1 land. I mean, it's unlikely, but if they have 2, they usually go Stomping Grounds and then they play the Utopia Sprawl with this green. But if they don't have that green, then they have to tap this green, put it on that, untap it. So basically, they're only going to have 2 mana. They can still play 3 mana worth of stuff on 2 with that opening. Probably better just to get bodies down here. If they do play a Utopia Sprawl next turn, then I can blow it out the following turn. All right, well, third land lets us play the Ether Vial next turn if we feel like it. All right, so Utopia Sprawl into Bloodbraid, cascading into Klothys. I have faced that line way too many times. Just play Magus of the Moon. Can I just get a Magus of the Moon, please? Ah. I mean, whatever. Whatever. Opponent just takes their turn 2 off, basically. All right, well, currently winning the race. Opponent short on lands, maybe? Can we get a stomp? But short on lands would be awesome. Let's go. Come on. No lands, opponent. Blah. Attack. Nope, no attacks. So they have another stomp in hand, I guess? That's kind of nice. I mean, they're not gonna block with their Arbor Elf. That would be like Silvergill trading for a land. So I think I attack now and then bring in Mariner, second main. If they want to stomp my Silvergill, that's sort of okay. I mean, it could also just take them off their only red. Honestly, that seems pretty sick. Oh, they're trading. That's cool. Next turn, I can play a bunch of creatures. Oh, all right. They're doing something. Oh, that's representing another stomp. So I think I'm just going to Spreading Seas the thing over there. What you gonna do, opponent? You gonna burn that stomp on my face? Nice. Land? It lets me still play a... Oh, well, that's pretty nice. Get to vial that in on the opponent's end step. So can we be so lucky as for them to have no other red sources? No. What do we got? You know, this deck has had non-stop Scavenging Oozes against me. Like, I played against them earlier today, and it was just Scavenging Ooze after Scavenging Ooze. I wish Mariner, like, protected your graveyard as well. That'd be pretty nice. All right, give us some good stuff, deck. No more lands. We're good on lands. 18 lands in the deck. If they tap out next turn and don't leave Scavenging Ooze up, we can go... If I go for Lurrus, they just immediately go after my graveyard. But at some point, I have to telegraph Lurrus, and I'm going to be sort of tapping out for it. I feel like, you know, if they go for something like, if they play Chandra, or if they play Glorybringer, I can then Violin Unsettled Mariner in response to that on the stack and make, you know, their, whatever, Exert, make their Exert bad. All right, whatever. We're probably not going to get value out of Lurrus, but if they have exactly Bolt here, it's kind of rough for us. Oh, you know what? If they crack this, I'll Violin Mariner. So, yeah. I mean, they could just be eating something from my graveyard, but seems like they're representing a Bolt or something like that. All right, they still take the 2. Gonna gain some life? Yeah, they're gonna gain some life. All right, opponent down to 9. We've got a lot of good draws, as well as ticking up Ether Vial next turn. They already spent one of their pillages. I don't think they run very many of those. Still just on the 1 red. Is this Clothis? Leaving up the 1 green? If we draw land next turn, we can Violin Lurrus and play Mistbinder. Oh, all right, that's cool. All right, so now we want to draw land next turn, I think. Opponent down to 1 card in hand. They're cracking it. Oh, they're gonna eat my 2 things, or what's happening here? Oh no, they're playing a 3-drop. It's a Magus? No, just the Bone Crusher. Okay, fair enough. Come on, I think we want lands here, right? Oh, it's the stupidest possible land. Jesus. Ah. Now we get to telegraph. Oh, come on, deck. Just playing with me. Man, they tapped out and everything. Like we are just ready to go to town. Do I keep the? I guess I don't know if I even play the land. It's like it doesn't even matter at this point. I don't know. Might as well show the opponent how stupid my deck is. All right. Well, the opponent drew a land, which is good for us. They could have some bonkers, crazy stuff though. Let's see. Just another giant, maybe? No, they're going bigger than that. Bloodbraid. Into pillage. We'll go after Ether Vial again. That would be the best possible outcome here. They're going to have to pay for the extra for the pillage, but it doesn't matter anyway. They've got the mana for it. Oh, that's ridiculous. Why are you going after Ether Vial? You know I only have 1 3-drop opponent. And now they only have 1 mana to get rid of stuff out of the graveyard. But they can do it in... they can't do it in response. I can just cast something. I'm going to have priority. So they're going to eat the Lord of Atlantis, of course. But I still get value. Oh, come on. Let's go, opponent. Pass to my... Come on. Pass to my main phase. Do it. Blah. Okay, they're going to eat it. Good call. Can I draw not a land, please? Oh, they get to untap. Oh, I keep forgetting about the stupid Arbor Elf. I mean, I can block something and then recast it with Luris, which is something. I don't think I'm going to play this land at this point. Man, we just whiffed on so many draw steps there. And, you know, we whiffed on the hub when we actually wanted to draw lands. Yeah, 18 lands. Opponent should probably even get in with the Arbor Elf here. I think I'm just going to chump the 5. No, because he gets to eat then. This stupid Scavenging Ooze, man. It's messing everything up. I mean, I'm not going to be able to use my graveyard anymore, so I might as well just trade with, like, the Bone Crusher Giant. Gain some life. Could also trade with the Bloodbraid if I felt like it. But there's sort of no rush on that. I'm going to take 8 damage here, put myself dead to Bolt, but they don't have red lands. I mean, it's going to be really hard to deal with this Scavenging Ooze. We have to draw a path. All right, I'll just take 8 for now. Oh, I'm going to go... Actually, I only take 5. Oh, well, I'll take more because they're going to eat a bunch of stuff. All right. What else? Eaten, eaten, eaten. Getting rid of stuff from the graveyard. We have a decent matchup here, but... it's not going to get us over the finish line. But It's at least something. Can attack with Mariner and then chump block with the Kumena Speaker. Oh, they're chump blocking? That's weird. I guess they get to eat it, gain life. So I guess we get like one more chance, maybe two, at drawing Path off the top of the deck. All right, it's not our game, guys. I guess technically I'm not dead, so I'll just pass the turn after playing the Ether Vial. I kind of am dead because if I chump and trade, they've still got this, and I'm just. I guess I can draw a Trickster to sort of tread water for a minute. Could also just draw a Path. So. All right, Path off the top, reset the game. Well, all right, get to tread water for a minute. Presumably, like, the opponent has a bunch of red spells piling up in their hand. Path. Path or Trickster. Oh, guys. Hurts my heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 lands out of 18 by turn 11. All right, I think I'm just going to concede. I could. I've gone this far. I'm just going to chump block again. There it is. Now we are well and truly dead. They get to play Bone Crusher Giant or just whatever spells they have in hand. Pretty sure we mulliganed to a super awkward. What? Slow rolling. Well done, opponent. All right, let's bring in all 5 of these. Maybe just the 4. Gonna bring in Deprives. Don't think I'm going to sacrifice Kazali for anything, so I'll keep him out, I guess. And we bring in the Deprives and cut the forces, I think. Let's kind of fight them card for card. As far as what to trim in the matchup, I think can easily pretty much always trim a couple of Mistbinders without too much trouble. If we can get Burrington down and play a semi-normal game of Magic, that's usually enough in this matchup. I don't know. Maybe I just trim all the Mistbinders. Lean on Island Walk. And just like early aggression with Kumena Speaker. Run it like that. All right, so we have 4 Path Exiles in the main. Obviously, Path has been pretty good this evening. Hopefully, it continues to be good here. All right. Thank you, deck. Opponent mulligans to 6. We go turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Mariner plus Commander Speaker. Of course, they can always draw Anger of the Gods and just blow us out, but those kind of sweepers are pretty much always going to get us. Oh, stop. Okay, cool. Well, things are developing nicely. We'll go Mariner, and then just pass the turn back. So no turn 2 Pillage or anything like that, unless it's Bloodbraid into Pillage. But then they still can't get me. Stomp plus mana could be a thing. Pyromancer, Magus. Not even sure if these guys play Magus. Could be Klothys. Alright, stomping and paying. That's totally fine. Vial is going to get us closer to Luris value, so potentially that Mariner could come back. A little bit awkward. I can't cast this other Commander Speaker, but whatever. I think, yeah, I'm gonna get Luris in hand now. And I don't know if running out the Lord right now is wise. I think it's better just to play around like Anger. I'd rather not get 2 creatures exiled right now if I could avoid it. Best draw in this spot, I think, is something like Burrington. Because Burrington would let us prevent an Anger from actually killing us. Okay, so now they're going to have 4 mana, but it makes Spreading Seas so much better if we draw it. All right, what are they going to hit? They hit an Anger of the Gods. So I imagine they're not going to cast it because they like their Arbor Elf, right? So validating my decision not to get Master on the battlefield. Also just getting rid of an Anger out of their deck. Puts it back on the bottom, right? Oh no, I think it just stays exiled. No, it goes on the bottom, so. So now Spreading Seas is pretty much the best draw, I think. We are going to take this Ether Vial up here because it's ceased being useful on 2. I mean, Anger is going to continue to be a blowout. So why don't I play Silvergill and then see if I draw a Deprive, for example. Another Mariner. Well, it's a creature. Hang on a sec. Just make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, I don't want to cast the one from my hand. All right, deck. Let's go. No Anger. No shenanigans. This game is super well in hand if we can dodge anger for 1 turn. Come on. Like, Big Titan is totally fine. Like, don't care about Titans if that's what they're going with. All right, this is sort of fine. Scavenging Ooze. Come on, Spreading Seas, let's go. Please. 5 lands by turn 5. What is going on? I think I have to attack, and if they block, we replay something, right? Like, it's just time to get frisky. Definitely. Okay. I think I kind of want to get in with the Lord, too. Like, if they block with all 3, I just get to replay whatever I want. Play another Mariner out to the board. And they're going to take some damage. We're just going to keep sort of pushing. Let's go. We can't sit around and just wait for them to top deck Haymakers. They might want to keep their they want to keep their Scavenging Ooze to start eating stuff, which, you know, you can respect. But they are going to take 6 here, which is awesome. All right, we're going to play this guy out. Hang on a sec. Why don't we just start with this guy? No. No deck. What? Okay, yes. Now we want to do that. Oh, and I can cast this little guy too. So yeah, I think we just want to lean as hard as possible in this spot. I mean, if they go, so they got like 7 mana next turn. They can eat 1 creature here, 2 creatures here, go up to 6. I mean, I think it's got to be better. It's got to be better to play the Speaker here. And if we get blown out, you know, whatever. All right, we got there. Sweet. So, on the draw, does anything change? It's possible that Deprive gets, I mean, definitely gets a little bit worse. But I do quite like Deprive, and if we are going to keep flooding like we have been, then Deprive's extra cost is really not that much of an extra cost. Possible, I mean, this opponent doesn't play too many non-creature spells. They've got Bolts and Stomps. Not too much else, I think. Like Pillages, they might have taken them out, but probably not since they get Aether Vial with it. Yeah, Lurrus is pretty awesome in this build when we get Aether Vial down. I think I'm just going to run it back. Like, we haven't seen our Spreading Seas really yet very much, and it's just... It's one way that the deck, the matchup can get, like, super lopsided. Like, if they commit to Utopia Sprawl and we get Spreading Seas on their land, then it's just over, so... All right, yeah, this is good. It's good enough. Good enough. But they're keeping as well, so it's gonna be a battle. Utopia Sprawl, do it. Yes. Let's see 2 more Utopia Sprawls on this thing next turn. All right. In case they play Magus, I'm gonna go get Basic Island right now. Oh, I'm not going to get Basic Island because I need to play Speaker. Ugh. All right. You need that extra 1 second of thought, 2 seconds of thought. So, I mean, green mana is okay. We already had it through Cavern. White mana is going to be more relevant for... see, with these land drops, like I usually take my time and think about it. Sometimes I move a little bit fast, particularly on the stream. The thought was to get the Basic Island. I could have just done it next turn, but I didn't want to give them the chance at playing Magus. If they play Magus, the game is just over, but it's over anyway, right? So I shouldn't have played around it. That kind of blows. Whatever, let's get Breeding Pool. Yeah, I mean, we just get blown out by Magus to the Moon no matter what. Unless we top deck Ether Vial, like, literally next turn, if that's what they have right now. That was a mess. I should have played Cavern, and then I should have gotten a Basic Island next turn. Alright, whatever. So now we are sort of set back a little bit here, clearly. But the opponent took their second turn off to do that. So I think Cavern is like the least important one here. Oh, again, I should have thought for another second. I think we're just going to be playing creatures for the next few turns. So the odds of me like wanting to hold up Deprive, not really that high. I would actually really love an Ether Vial off the top. Opponent ripped a Pillage already. Come on, play some low impact stuff. Renin 6 is relatively high impact. Yuck. All right, I think I'm going to actually play Spreading Seas to get rid of the Utopia Sprawl and slow them down. All right, Collector, oof. Fair enough, opponent. You've got the hate. Do I start playing my 2-drops, or do I slow them down? I don't know. In this spot, like, I'm not really worried about my life total yet, and I'd like to draw cards. So I could also just start stacking Mariners and make it really hard for them to actually target me with anything. I think I'm gonna play Spreading Seas here. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it for a second. Yeah, I can dig it. All right, sick. So let's see what they've got here. Hopefully just a handful of 5-drops. Oh, Ren is going to keep ramping them. All right, so we're not really screwing their mana. We're just doing Island Walk. And, man, Renin 6 is a beating. Not working out well. I kind of forgot about the whole ramping thing. Or not ramping, but infinite mana fixing that Renin 6 provides. Collector, oof. Wrecking me here. Oh, wait. Hang on a second. White is what I want to spend here. There we go. And I don't even know. I might just trade with Collector, oof, honestly. Now that we have this Ether Vial. Hope that the opponent draws nothing. But they're not drawing nothing. All right. Double land destruction on the play, I think, is gonna swing this one in the opponent's favor. I don't know. Not blocking that, though. Land? Silvergill Adept? I think now we just need to sort of buff up our creatures. Like, they've got too many lands to really care about Mariners. Actually, I can start attacking. That's kind of nice. We could win this race. Oh, actually, hold on. Well, I think I'm just going to not care about Wrenn and 6. I think it's kind of my only hope. We get in for 3. Next turn, we get in for 7. They're getting in for 6 next turn. No, they're getting in for 8 next turn. I mean, hang on a second. If I leave this guy back, they're not attacking with this anyway, right? So, I mean, if they do, they do. They're going to eat my Kumena's Speaker and go up to 6. It's like a 2-turn clock. I'm not going to trade either of my creatures for either of those things. It's just a question. I don't think that, whatever. Let's just attack. I'm pretty sure we're just dead here because we can't clock them fast enough. And they're going to gain life with Scavenging Ooze, so pretty much over. They gonna have a bolt or something? Oh, they're just eating stuff. But if they keep cracking those things, I don't know. This is really unfortunate. It's a good matchup. But again, when they're on the play with double land destruction, ramp, Wrenn and 6, they had really good cards this game. More land destruction. Maybe a Pyromancer. More land destruction. All right, well, we're going to continue to not scoop, I guess. I mean, if I play a Lord, we kind of have decent blocks, but then this Wrenn and 6 is kind of ticking up to infinity. I need a land here, right? And preferably not like a shock land. Oh, opponent has more. There's more where that came from, I guess. Seasoned Pyromancer. Huh. We drew a land, and we actually got pretty close here, guys. We actually got pretty close. But the opponent can attack, things will die, and then they get to eat a whole bunch of things. And they have 2 fresh cards in hand, which is really obnoxious from Seasoned Pyromancer. Clearly, I can kill Wrenn and 6 if I want, but then I'm just dead on board. I think in this spot, we kind of just have to pass. Take like really, really poor blocks. I hope that they drew 3 lands in a row. And this is interesting. I'm pretty sure they have a bolt in hand. We're gonna block. Now, there's no creatures chilling in the graveyard, right? I'm pretty sure I checked that out already. So we're gonna go like that. And then we're gonna go like that. And then we're gonna go like that. And if I die to a stomp, so be it. Otherwise, this is a massive blowout as far as blocks go. Oh no, Wrenn and 6 can kill me. All right, we lose, but they can pay for it. So yeah, I should have traded one of my guys. If the opponent sees it, yeah, they see it. Ah, well. I could have traded one of my lords, but then we wouldn't have had lethal. Yeah, probably should have lined up a lord, but again, we don't know what they're holding in hand. All right, I feel like I did my best. So currently 2-2. We're gonna go to the last round. Hopefully, go positive on this league. The deck has been feeling fine in general. We have flooded out in a couple of games. There's been some mulligans. There's been some nut hands from the opponents. But we've managed to stay in it. I think beating Affinity was a lot of fun. We got to beat this guy on Ad Nauseam earlier. All right, winning the die roll is a good start. And I'm going to keep this. Way to go, deck. Hopefully it's just Ad Nauseam again, or like Neoform. Opponent's mulliganing. One land double Ether Vial is pretty gas, especially with double Silvergill. So opponent kept on their 6. It's kind of an interesting avatar, some kind of cat. Temple of Epiphany or whatever. All right, well, let's see what they play. We may or may not want to cast Force of Negation. Oh, we do want to cast Force of Negation. Sweet. I'm going to pitch this Lord right now. All right, well, it's a difficult matchup. That was an excellent card to draw. But the opponent's on a mulligan to 6, and we countered their amulet. So come on, deck. No lands, please. All right, it's a good start. Opponent with a second amulet. Maybe just a Karu land or something. This is a kind of a cool looking forest. Love it. Yeah, just a Karu land. Taking its sweet time. So now Spreading Seas is, a bit of a tempo blowout. But I think I would still push creatures anyway. This is nice. Okay. Yeah. Just think the clock. Actually, hang on a second. So if I attack with the Lord, 2 Lords right now, it's 4. They go to 15. We untap, if we don't draw another Lord, it's just going to be 10. So they're going to be at 15 and then 5. We still have to attack 3 times. If I play a Silvergill, swing for 2, they go to 17. I can still vial in a Lord now. They go to 16. 1 more point of damage. I think it's probably better just to play a Silvergill here. We could always, draw something relevant like a a deprive. Not a deprive, a Force of Negation, that kind of thing. Okay, or a land that we can play and then play Ether Vial. All right, so 3 attacks, no amulet in sight. Let's see how it goes. We can get Lurrus and vial Lurrus in next turn. But I do kind of want to get this Lord on the table, though it's still a 2-turn clock anyway, right? It's 8 and 8, so it doesn't really matter. All right. Is that going to be a chump block? Should I or should I not get Lurrus here? I don't think so. I mean, I can get Lurrus no matter what. I just can't vial him in this turn, which is fine. I mean, Spreading Seas is the best here. That's the best draw. That or Force of Negation to stop a Summoner's Pact, something like that. Oh man. All right. Does that change our math? This is 5, 5, and 4. Unfortunately, not really. But it does get us outside of something like Anger, which I'm pretty sure is not in the main deck here. I think I'm going to put Luris in hand. They're going to take 8. I guess I might as well. With one blocker, I don't think they get there. Like, I think we can still deal 8 next turn. Take 5. Yeah, we're good, I think. Oh wait, hang on. Let's just. I'm gonna get Luris. Luris, not the most relevant in this kind of matchup, but Fierce Empath. Well, now they have 2 blockers, but I think I'm still pushing 4 damage around these blockers anyway. Fierce Empath. Is that a newish card to Modern? So we're still hoping for Spreading Seas here for the clean win, but I'm pretty sure it's just over anyway. Hey. Actually, hang on a sec. If they violin a Karu land, they can bounce any of the lands that I put it on. But again, it doesn't really matter, right? If they have another Karu land, they can bounce this right now. But they didn't. They can still do it. Tap my lands a little bit poorly, but I could have drawn Path or Speaker, so kind of impossible to know which way to draw. Opponent has to block here, so we'll just make him. You know what? Let's attack, and then I'll violin the Island Walk, and we'll see if they go for the Karu land bounce. Okay, all right, cool. I wasn't really trying to slow roll it there. It's just my computations on their Karu land tricks were kind of messing up my line. All right, so even though they have Cavern of Souls, we have to bring in Deprive. Karu lands mean we do want to bring in Damping Sphere so that those lands only tap for 1 rather than 2. Kazali Pride Mage can sacrifice to kill an Amulet. Spell Pierce, probably not worth it. You can counter like a ramp spell. I think we want all of our paths. And then we have to start sideboarding out some stuff. So, I mean, Mariner is sort of okay against Valakut, but not really that good against Valakut. So I think I can start by trimming all of my Mariners. And we don't really need tons and tons of Spreading Seas, because they can get bounced. We typically just want it for the Alpha Strike, so I'll trim 2 of those. Up a game in round 5, so it feels pretty good. It's not doing the messed up sideboarding thing here, so that's good to know. I can trim a couple of Mistbinders, I guess. And it's kind of just like playing defense against a combo deck, more or less. We've still got a bunch of aggression. We've got 10 Lords, the 4. I'm on the draw, so I can trim a land. and they're not countering anything, so I feel like I could probably get away with trimming a Cavern of Souls. It also doesn't contribute to Kazali Pride Mage. So yeah, trim a Cavern. I'm going to submit the deck, and I'm going to run to the bathroom, so be right back. I love cameras rolling, but I'm Oh, sorry guys. Yeah. Anyhow, I was saying it's a pretty nice hand. Pretty nice hand. Opponent mulligan to 6, and they're thinking about their 6. They're keeping their 6. All right. Well, we're gonna have to deal with that this game. Double path, huh? The battle of the 1-drop artifacts. All right, so they can play a 3-drop this turn, like Azusa or Dryad. We might just be getting run over here, guys. Ugh, Dryad. Out of my face, Dryad. I think we have to path the Dryad on their upkeep. So they only have 1 Karu land. Interesting that they didn't play the Karu land. The thing is, they're going to get an untapped land from path anyway. Oh, you know what? I can trickster during their upkeep. That seems like a good line. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to reveal the trickster. It kind of stinks because I'd like to trickster like a Titan. Oh, you know what? Actually, lands I think are still going to. Are they? You're not countering this. What? Well, we do have Island Walk, guys, because of the Dryad. All right, so I got disputed by a forest. It's pretty dirty, opponent. Pretty dirty indeed. This is not the same Karu land, so I think they have the green-white one in hand right now. Force of Vigor. Okay. That means they've got one card left in hand. Could it be a Primeval Titan? Nice. Super well-timed land right there. So I am going to go ahead and they've shown that they have Dispute, and actually the land comes in untapped anyway with Vigor Amulet on the board, so let's just path this thing now. It does... Oh my goodness. I'm pretty sure we know that they have a green-white Karoo land in hand. If I go back to turn 1, they played Forest, and then they played Selesnya Sanctuary. So the last card in their hand is Selesnya Sanctuary. So, I mean, at this point, they're just drawing off the top of the deck. So I don't really see it making a difference. So, yeah, I'll just path it now, I guess. Better to not let them draw a counterspell, I guess, right? But if I do it during their upkeep, they can't draw it anyway. All right, let's go. Whatever. All right, so we should, in theory, be ahead because we've got removal and another creature in hand and Luris yet to come with a creature in the graveyard and an Ether Vial. Opponent has one land in hand right now. That's exactly what their hand is. So let's draw some Deprives. Let's draw some Deprives, I guess. And let's hope the opponent doesn't draw. Yeah, so there's that thing. So there's one unknown card in the opponent's hand. All right, floating green. And now they bounced a snow-covered forest to their hand and just passed. Well, this is pretty sick. Huh. I think I lose if they top deck a Titan, right, without leaving path up. At the same time, if I play a Lord now, get in 4/4, I untap with 12. So 2-turn clock from there. If I just attack with 1 now, it's 3. Next turn, it's gonna be 8. It's still a 3-turn clock no matter what. So I think I play this tapped. Play 1 Lord, leave up path. So attack, and then attack next turn, and then lethal the following turn. And it wouldn't be any different if I played out both Lords. We know the opponent has a Forest in hand. We don't know what the other card is. Okay, well, so again, we know that there's a Forest in their hand. Snow-covered forest, to be exact, and there it is. I don't think I'm going to burn this this path on Azusa. I think we're just going to lean in. Yeah, I don't know. And then next turn we can get Luris in hand, if nothing else. These Path to Exiles have been perfect this game. I mean, not this game, this league. They've been really excellent. I think the opponent has to chump there. What are you even doing with Azusa here? We do not know any of the cards in their hand at this point, but I imagine at least one of them is a land because they haven't been casting spells. If they go to end step, I am going to path the Azusa. Although maybe I can just go to my turn anyway. I don't know. It doesn't really make a big difference. So what did we lose to tonight? We lost to Ponza with the absolute nuts in game 3. And then the other loss, it was Humans. And yeah, they steamrolled us as well. Like, Modern is just going to do that sometimes, you know? Possible I should have used, like, this land instead of this land in case they had, like, Ghost Quarter and, I don't know, have double white. Okay, one card left in hand. Opponent gonna keep playing this over and over again and make something big, I guess. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they have infinite mana anyway. Are they going to give this dude haste? If it is in fact a Primeval Titan? I guess we have to wait and see. They just about have zombies online, I think. If they get field and something else. Come on, give it haste. You know that's a line you want to take. Tolaria West. All right, well, blue mana and, I don't know, some other kind of mana? All right. They are empty-handed. They have to bounce something back to their hand. Not sure what's happening here. Like, why are they making all this mana? Oh, they're transmuting, of course. That makes sense. Okay. Not much I can do about it. They don't have the mana to play another Titan. So, oh, they can get, like, engineered explosives. They got a Summoner's Pact, though. Huh. I don't even know what I want to draw at this point. I guess a Spreading Seas, obviously, right? They got a Dryad here. Opponent maybe playing around a counterspell? I'm not even sure what they're doing. Are they... Huh. They could have played a Dryad, but they're not playing a Dryad. And they have to pay for their pact next turn. Not really sure what's going on here. So now Spreading Seas wins, Trickster wins. Okay, they just scooped. Why are they even scooping? They're not dead. All right, but guys, we got 3 and 2 against a what would I draw here? Silvergill can't even play it because I don't have any Merfolk. I mean, I can play it, but it doesn't contribute to the win. They could have... I mean, it's ridiculous. Why would you scoop there? Maybe they thought I had Island Walk? I mean, they chump block here. They take 8. They go down to 1. I mean, they're going to have a hard time getting out of it, but they could easily draw another Titan or another Summoner's Pact and then go get zombies, right? And just make blockers. So then they would have Titan and 2 zombies, at least. I don't know. Seems like a bad scoop to me. But I'll take it. I mean, what do you guys see here? Feel like a premature scoop? I have to say, extremely dubious with the opponent getting Slayer's Stronghold with no red mana. I mean, I guess they're going to play the Dryad, but why? I had mana up, so maybe they thought I was going to counter it, but I'm going to counter it next turn anyway. And I would have countered your Primeval Titan, so... What is he doing? Am I missing something, guys? We know the opponent's only card is a Dryad right now. So you play that out, chump block 1, go down to 1, play out a bunch of creatures next turn, hopefully. Like, you gotta play to your outs. But I don't know, you guys are being super quiet. Like, maybe you're sitting there doing the math. We did get Mystical Disputed by a Forest. I think that's the first time that's happened against me. Maybe they thought, oh, I got it. Hang on, no. The reason that they didn't play it is it gives them Island Walk. If they play Dryad, it turns everything into an island, which is just GG. So that's hilarious. So opponent knowing how their cards work better than I know. That's so funny. So when I pathed the Dryad earlier, um, I actually took myself off of Island Walk, which ended up being inconsequential since I was able to just sort of keep attacking anyway. But they could not play the Dryad because it turns on Island Walk. That's pretty funny. All right, so let's recap our experience this evening. So we got totally steamrolled by humans and Panza in game 3. There was no winning that, I don't think. I guess in what I learned, I mean, there's so many different Panza decks right now. Some of them just play like all creatures and maybe Utopia Sprawls. Some of them just up until like a few weeks ago were playing Obosh, but it seems to be off the table at this point. So I just think it's mostly green, red, mid range. If they play land destruction, they typically play, I think, exactly 2 of them at this point. In game 3 on the play, opponent had 2 pillages. It's possible they have both pillages, and one thing that suggests to us is that we may want to keep in some number of Force of Negation post board against RG. But it's just an aggro deck, and I mean, I guess, potentially pitching or casting Force of Negation to counter like a lightning bolt or something can be pretty clutch. Oh, Yerbacaster. I didn't even see that you said Island Walk for Dryad. I totally missed that. I was waiting for you guys to to actually respond to me recognizing that it was Island Walk, but apparently Yerbacaster totally on top of it. So good call on that one. Yeah, so maybe that's a lesson learned. If land destruction can really get us, and it can, maybe keep in 2 forces, even if it just counters. Actually, force is pretty solid against Stomp because it exiles the entire spell, so they can't cast the Giant later from exile. All right, so cool. We're learning something. So try to keep in a couple forces post board. We didn't draw any Forge Tenders. That card is like the nuts against them. It's super good. Particularly if we get Lurrus in the game, right? We can just like block, sack, play it again with Lurrus, just like really busted. Actually, the most busted combo against Panza is Burrington Forge Tender in combination with Worship, because Worship just cares if you have creatures, and there's literally no way for them to deal with Forge Tender. So if they bring in like Cinder Vines to blow up like an Ether Vial, which they probably do, then the Cinder Vines could blow up Worship. But unless they get that, it's just totally undisruptible. They need exactly enchantment removal to get around that. Well, all right, let's see. What kinds of artifacts and enchantments did we play against this evening? Well, we just saw Dryad, which is an enchantment, and Pride Mage kills it. I'm not even sure if I brought Pride Mage in for that matchup. I probably should have. We played against Ad Nauseam, which has Phyrexian Unlife, so Pride Mage good there. I guess it's okay against humans to blow up an Ether Vial, in theory. Panza, they really only play Utopia Sprawls, and they do play the Cinder Vines, but it kind of feels bad sacrificing a Kazali to kill a Cinder Vines. We don't really play a lot of non-creature spells. So... And round 1 was Ad Nauseam. Round 2 was humans. Round 3 was artifacts, affinity. So Kazali good in that matchup. So I might add in another copy of this guy. Damping Sphere, just a really good card to have in. Maybe we're good enough against Tron between Spreading Seas and 9 counterspells that we can afford to give up Damping Sphere. I'm going to go ahead right now and add in another Kazali. I'll leave in I'm gonna leave in like more than 15 cards. Rest in Peace didn't come into play in this league, but Dredge is a thing. I've been actually seeing a fair amount of it lately. Paths, honestly, I kind of want to put like all 4 paths in the main deck after this performance, but having them split felt pretty okay. I don't know. Everything worked pretty well. When we don't get totally steamrolled, we were in every match. We could have beaten Panza, if we got slightly luckier than they did, because we got to game 3, right? I think that humans 2-0'd us, So probably not. We probably weren't going to take that one. I think humans also had really good cards. So anyhow, we've played against one combo deck with Ad Nauseam. Obviously, the counter spell is really good against that matchup. We played against Affinity, and I guess we drew all of our paths. So I guess that totally validates bringing in the paths on top of all the other matches where paths were just ridiculous this evening. Trying to think like what we beat. So we beat Titan, we beat Affinity, and we beat Ad Nauseam. And the configuration felt good in those matchups. We got pressure, we've got counter magic, and when we need it, we've got removal. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions about tweaks for the deck, let me know in the Discord for sure. And as always, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you guys had a good time watching the league. If you want to hang out a second, if you still feel like watching a little bit more, it helps me out a little bit if I can send you guys to another stream. And it looks like a Magic player named Spider Space is streaming. So I'm going to just try to send you guys over to Spider Space. You could go watch some more Magic over there. Tell them that I sent you. Hopefully I'll get a couple followers. So Spider Space. Oh, by the way, if you're not following the channel, please do that. It helps me out so much. So have a good evening, guys, and I'll be streaming next, maybe this weekend, definitely next Monday with Soul Herder, definitely next Wednesday with more Merfolk. Until then, good luck in your Magic, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.